Hey there! My name is David Kolar and I am a musician and composer from Slovakia, from the middle of Europe. And I had the privilege to work with great musicians like Pat Mastelot of King Crimson, Steven Wilson, Erik Truffaz, Arve Henriksen, Eivind Arnset, Gergo Borlai, Marko Mineman, and many, many others. This is my podcast. This is the English version. And welcome to the next episode. I would like to briefly talk about stage fright before a concert, anxiety, and even depression that can affect the musician. Because this was and still is very, very big problem for me before the concert. Especially, when I play with these big guys like Pat Mastelot or Erik Truffaz or Arve Henriksen, I still feel a huge responsibility when I'm on the stage to please them, play for them, make them happy, and show them that I worked hard since our last gig or our last recording, and I want to show them that I really want, and I'm really happy to be with them, on the stage. So this is one of the many, many demons which I had in my head. And I have met a lot of musicians, and a lot of them had the same, still having the same problem, maybe right now when they are playing somewhere on the stage. So, for example, before the gig, I have this imaginations, pictures in my head. What if my laptop will turn off in the middle of the concert? What if my string will be broken, in the middle of the solo? And again, if I play and drummer is not smiling at me while I was smiling at him, that I am happy right now, and he is not smiling, so probably he doesn't like what I'm doing right now, so I have to change it. Or if I look at the audience and I see a guy with a boring face looking at me, and I was like, oh man, I play like shit. Maybe it's time to quit this business and find a proper job somewhere in supermarket, and I will be much more free, and I will don't have these strange feelings, Another one was, this is I call this stage fright. It's like I go there, my heartbeats are really high, and I feel a huge responsibility because I am on the stage with Arve Henriksen or Erik Truffaz or Pat Mastelot or Gergo Borlai, all these big names who means a lot to me. And I want to please them. I want to show them, hey, I worked a lot since our last concert. I worked a lot since our last recording was released, So, and this was and still is a big struggle for me. It's very difficult to be concentrated on the music, to be on the flow, with the other guys on the stage, or even if we play in duo. This is really very bad sometimes for me. And this fright, stage fright, sometimes it goes to anxiety. And this is really bad because I feel inside like it happened. I mean, like my laptop turned off, or my string was broken, or my guitar amp didn't work, or, anxiety is something what just arrives to your body, it just is here like this, and you can do nothing. You can try to breathe, or try to talk to someone who you trust, and tell him, look, I feel now like I have this anxiety or panic attack, and from anxiety, from fright, stage fright, it's very easy to go to anxiety, and from anxiety to depression. and this is really bad, and this is hell. And I can tell you something about that, because I went through all of these three stages of feelings, let's say. So especially when I wanted to get out from the Slovakia, from the country, because I didn't want to play with Slovakians. I wanted to play with my idols. I wanted to play with musicians who are much better than I am, and I can learn from them. And later, maybe we can be colleagues or partners on the stage, and we can help each other. The musician is older and has a big audience. I'm younger, but I am full of energy, and I can bring some fresh ideas, and we can do something together, Each of us can profit from it. Like Miles Davis played with younger musicians, for example, or many, many others. But how to deal with it? It's still difficult. To be honest, I went to visit the doctor, and we had like 10 minutes long the conversation, and he said, "David, you are suffering from really, really strong anxiety, but if it affects your personal life, you need help." So I have I take some pills, sometimes, and it really helps. But I think I have these feelings because I am from this post-communism country, Slovakia. We were the eastern bloc of the Berlin Wall, and musicians were locked here. And if someone was successful, it was because he collaborated with the comrades, with the pro-Russian Soviet Union government, and the artists who didn't collaborate, they didn't have job. Their music was not recorded. Books were not printed. They were like they didn't exist. And then after revolution in 1989, when democracy started. When you was successful, or me or another musician or artist, people didn't like it very much, because if you was 40 years under Russians and this strange Soviet Union, corrupted and stupid era, you knew that if someone is successful, it is because he's not good, but he just collaborated with the government, and KGB or Slovakian STB, So he's collaborator. That's why he's successful. That's why he has album. That's why he has a book. We don't like him, and we still have it here. And when I started to play with musicians here, it was really difficult because I had a regular job. My son was born when I was 19. I was 19 years old father, and I wanted to be with him, and I wanted to be here for him. So I found a regular job. I was alcohol seller. I chopped wood in the winter, and I also had a band, and we had concerts, and we had a little success in the country. But when internet, developed to Slovakia, I was sitting every day, all the time in the internet cafe, because I didn't have computer at home. And it was, what the year it was? It was I think 2003 or 4. I went to internet cafe, and I was watching YouTube videos, John Scofield and other guys, and I did find MySpace there, so I have created profile, and I did find amazing drummer from Hungary called Adam Marko, and the bass player Gergo Barani, and later we made the David Koller project, and we have released album called Equation of Time. You can find it somewhere on the internet and all streaming platforms. This was first beginning for me, to go abroad from Slovakia and work with others. And And then, Italians and finally Pat Mastelot of King Crimson and Steven Wilson and all these big guys, these big names, these huge names. When we were on the stage, I felt like Pat feels sorry for me, because I came from this country or from Eastern Bloc, or even, why is he here with me? Because he played with much better musicians than I am, like Adrien Belew and Robert Fripp, and Alan Holsford and many, many others. So all these demons were in my head. All those naysayers from my childhood, from my teenage, from my country, some guy told me in Bratislava, you will never be successful abroad, never. You cannot do it without connections in Bratislava and the Ministry of Culture, and I was really angry, I remember, and I was like, I will show you, you are an asshole, and I will show you, I will do that, I will find all those musicians and I will work on myself, I will work on my own sound, I will work on my own musical philosophy, and I will do that. And finally I work with all those guys, as I mentioned in the beginning of this podcast, but this anxiety and stage fright and then depression, this is really what can affect the musician, and on the stage. If you play the same repertoire every night, you can practice before the concert, you can go through the whole repertoire. But if you improvise, as I do, each concert is improvised on 80% or 90%, sometimes even on 100%. It's very difficult to be prepared, for a concert like that. So all what I can do is just when I'm at home, when I feel comfortable, I work on my sound palette, which I have mentioned in the previous podcast. It was podcast number 2, and I visualize the concert. So I'm trying to be prepared for the situations like, for example, if Arve Henriksen will play something in a harmony which could sound strange to me, and I am not able to connect it, so I can work on the ambient sounds or some rhythmical stuff from my computer, So this is what is very important for me, to visualize the concert. Or what if the drummer will have a problem? How can I handle concert for next 5 or 10 minutes, only by myself? What should I do? So I have a bunch of plans when I'm working at home. Here, when I feel really comfortable, and I have papers around me when I am on the stage, and there are plans like plan A, plan B, plan C, plan D. I call it safe net. So I have this safe net, and sometimes I don't even use it, and more. To be honest, more and more older I am 40 right now. I know I'm not that old, but this stage fright and anxiety, it is better. I mean, it is. I feel better. It never develops to depression. But for example, I played at Punkt Festival in Norway. It is in my podcast, the first one, the pilot, podcast number 1. You can listen to it, what this festival was about. And I really didn't feel even stage fright and anxiety. I really felt very well, because I was there one day before with people I can trust and whom I love. And Arve Henriksen and his wife Anna Maria, they are really very positive and beautiful human beings. So I really felt the power when I was on the stage, and like I can do everything what I want, and I have a very good partner, Arve Henriksen there, who I think is much better musician than I am, but I'm constantly learning from him. So if you suffer from these disorders or fears, try the breathing exercises that are on YouTube, There are plenty of them. Or you may have surrounded yourself with wrong negative people whose negative comments can come to your mind during the concert. I can tell you something about it. I was surrounded all my life with the musicians here in my country. Such an assholes. Okay. But stage fright can also be a good thing. The body knows that something important is happening, Long ago, our ancestors had it while hunting. So this is good. But if it affects your flow on the stage with other musicians or your free mind, you have to breathe. You have to breathe when you are on the stage. Close your eyes, listen to your colleagues, and then go back to the game. Everything will be good. Everything will be okay. And sometimes a little ritual before the concert can help, like you shake hands with your colleagues and say something like, hey, it will be perfect. See you in 1 hour here in the backstage. Or, you can kick ass of each other, Or my friend told me that PJ Harvey throws a ball with the musicians before the concert. Put the ball in your hand and say what you are worried about at the concert today, So your colleagues will support you, and then you throw the ball to another colleague who will say what he is worried about today, So this is a very good idea. You can avoid stage fright, anxieties. You are there like a team. You are a family right now for next 1 hour or 2 hours, on the stage. So be happy, and colleagues will support you, and you will support your colleagues. So this is what I have learned since when I was 14, when I started to perform in my country, until my last concert, which was last Friday with Quasars Ensemble in Bratislava. It was first time in my life with violin, cello and viola and piano player. And I really had stage fright and a bunch of anxieties before. Am I enough good to go to this direction, to this field of classical musicians or not? And finally on the stage I was trying to breathe and give space to others. Don't play too much. Don't think about what the people in audience probably think about you. Overthinking is another hell for me. So David, just close your eyes or watch your colleagues and make the best music as you can right now in this moment. Sometimes you don't have to play. Sometimes you just listen your colleagues and you can react to them, and it will be good because they are good players and they are there on the stage with you, David, and it is just the beginning. As my friend conductor Ivan Bufa said, this was just first kiss, and we will do more and more in the future. I and classical musicians. It's great that I still go ahead. I want to go somewhere where I wasn't before. So yeah, this was the episode, about stage fright, anxiety and depressions. And share me, what do you think about this? Do you feel anxiety? Do you suffer from anxiety? Before the concert or during the concert, or even stage fright or depression? We must help each other. We as artists, we need you as audience. And we are together in the same game. So thank you so much. And if you want to support my next album called Calls, there is a link below the podcast, and you can just hit the button or share with your friends. I have to say it because I really work hard on this record. I'm working hard every day, and I want to mix it and master and make a graphic design, and I can't wait to share it with you. Okay, so, and sorry for my English, you know, I call it touristic English, but I'm trying to share something with you, you know. I hope 90% of listeners abroad, they are not in Slovakia, you know, they are, I think the first one was France, then it was Germany and USA, you know, and Slovakia is maybe on the 4th or 5th place. So I am trying, I'm learning, I play Duolingo every day, and I'm trying to be better. So thank you so much. Leave me a comment and have a nice day. It will be good. It will be good. Ciao, ciao.